Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully load our payment gateway, right? And also after that it's showing some of the error as a view. That means the view app payment views this complete didn't return HTTP response. It's because of all here in our particular that function area, I didn't define any return, right? So here we have to define as a return. So I just simply define as a return render and then our this page, that means our complete.html. And now first of all here we have to add our post details. So here I define the if condition. If our request method, okay, that means method. So if our request method equal as a post, that means a capital post. And also here I define another one as a or request. If this request method is equal as a small character, that means a post. So then I want to add our payment data. So here I define as a payment. So payment underscore data. So payment data will be our requested post. So here I just simply define as a request and then post. Okay, and then after that I want to actually print it. So I just simply define as a print and print our this payment data. What exactly it should be display, I show you. Like here I define as a payment data. Okay, so now if you click as a save all, and now if you go our pay page again, now click as a enter. So that is our checkout. Now go to our mobile, go to the rocket, and I just want to make the things as a success. Click as a success. Yeah, you can see now that's actually not showing any error because of all here, as I told you, I didn't define any return. So now you can see it's now perfectly redirected to our status page. So into the status page here I have print our payment data. What exactly it's actually defined, you can see every data is on here. There is our transaction ID is on here, there is our val ID, there is our card type, there is an amount, there is a store amount, the status. Okay, so also there is store ID, every data field is on here. So now you can actually pass it. So if you want to pass that information, then you can pass it. So right now I want to do that work. So after this, better here. So here after this, right now we don't need this print, so I just simply remove it. So after this post I want to added our all that field. That means here I want to show our status field, I want to show our transaction ID will be needed, that val ID will be needed. Okay, so here step by step I want to add it. So first of all I define as a status. So status will be as a I just simply define our with this payment data. Okay, with this payment data here we have to pass our this field as a status. So status, so that is actually the field. You can see that is actually the field as a status. And also I want to take that our transaction ID, and also there is our val ID. So better I just define that val ID first. So here for the val ID I name it as a val underscore ID, and then with our payment. Okay, with our payment data here I want to pass our field as a val ID, and also I want to take another one as a transaction ID, that is a tran underscore ID. And here with our payment data here I want to pass our for the transaction. So that is our field name as a trans ID. Sorry, I just simply copy it. Okay, that is our trans IDs. I just simply copy it, and here I just simply paste it. And also our transaction bank ID will be needed. So they have also another one as a bank, that means our bank transaction ID will be needed. Okay, so here I also want to take this. So that is our bank transaction ID. So that is DBBL, that is our bank, and that is our issue. So that is our card. Okay, better I want to define this one, that is actually our bank transaction ID. So I just simply copy it, because this data, that means this payment will be saved in our bank specific one of the ID area. So for the reasons here I take one of the another field as a bank. Okay, bank underscore transaction underscore ID. So it will be in our payment, into the payment data. Here we have to pass it. So when every data will be perfect, that means when our status will be as a valid, then I want to check it. Like here I define another condition. Here I define the status. Okay, that means when our status field, so when our status field, that means here you can see status as a valid. So when our status will be valid, then I want to show some of the message, and when it will be as a status as a fault, then I want to display another message. Okay, so now I just simply define our status field. When our status field will be equal as a valid, so here I want to show some of the message. So messages as a success. Okay, success messages, and then with the request here I want to show some of the message as a your payment. Okay, your payment completed successfully. So this type of one of the message it should be displayed, rather than I do another else, that means the else if. So that is actually elif. Okay, so to the else if area, when our this status will be equal another one as a failed. When it should be as a failed, then it should be show another message. So that is a messages, and I just make that thing as a warning. Okay, I just make as a warning, and then with this request, into the request area we have to pass some of the another information. I just make as a your payment failed. Okay, your payment failed, please try again. This type of one of the information should be displayed. Please try again. Okay, so this type of one of the message it should be displayed. Perfect. So friend, here we successfully pass all the our details, that means status, valid, the transaction, our bank ID, everything which will be passed it. And when it should be passed, that means when our status is valid, then it should be show this message, that means the success message as a your payment complete successfully. Else if it should be display another status, that means when our status will be as a failed, then it should be show some of the message as a warning message, as a request, your payment failed, please try again. I hope you can well understand about it. So now we have to pass all the things in our render, the return render request, in our app payment, the complete.html, right? So now we have to design our this page, that means in our app, that is our complete.html page. So here we have to work. So now better I just click on the save all. So now if you go here, I want to run our server as a py, and then manage.py, and then run server. Yeah, everything is running well. So now we have to design our this page. So better I am to continue this process. In our next video we'll work in our complete.html page. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.